Hello. So today I'm going to talk about my biggest regret. I mean, I definitely have a few, but this is definitely my biggest one. Like, if you ever ask me, like, what's your biggest regret? This is the one I always go back to, and it just always comes into my mind. Sometimes I just think about it, and I'm like, wow, I wish I did that differently. So I'm going to start the story about 10 years ago. Back when I was a teenager, I did a lot of fundraising work for Stand Up to Cancer and their biggest fundraising team called Archie's Angels. I was good friends with the founder of Archie's Angels and some of the other fundraisers. I still am. And I really got into working with them and fundraising with them. In summer 2012, I was 17 and I did a big fundraiser for Archie's Angels. We raised so much money. We ended up being the top team to raise that summer. We got some musicians involved. It was really, really fun. And it all landed with me being invited to the 2012 live broadcast of Stand Up to Cancer in Los Angeles. And of course, that was super, super exciting. I had never been to Los Angeles before. It was gonna be like it's gonna be a short trip, but like a big trip. My mom was coming with me because, again, I was 17 and I didn't really know what to expect, but I knew I had watched the live broadcasts throughout the years. They were doing it like every 2 years, and I always watched those beforehand. So I kind of knew what to expect, and there was always like big stars there and stuff, so I knew it was going to be cool. So I think it was only a couple days before the trip that the founder of Archie's Angels told me that she set up an interview for me and her to do at the venue before the broadcast. And this is where the regret starts coming in. Basically, when I was a teenager, I was very quiet. I didn't like to speak. I didn't really like to speak to people and stuff like that. So the thought of doing an interview with a person in front of a camera and at this big venue with all these people around, that definitely was not my thing. I could do it now, 10 years later, but I couldn't do it back then. Again, here's the regret coming. But I didn't say no at first. I said, yes, I'll do it. Let's do it. We got to LA. It was a long flight. We got to our hotel. I got in my little Arrow t-shirt and we were to meet the founder and some other fundraisers at the venue. And we were going to do our interview first and then watch the live broadcast afterward. Well, before the live broadcast, we went and got some lunch at this little pizza place nearby, just me and my mom. And I just couldn't stop thinking about this dreaded interview that I was supposed to be doing. I didn't want to do it, even though it would have been cool. I just didn't want to do it. I was dreading it, and my mom eventually was like, you should just tell them that you don't want to do it. And I felt bad doing that, but I did. I ended up texting the founder, and I was like, I don't really want to do this interview thing, sorry. And they were super cool about it. Like, it wasn't like a big deal or anything. They were fine with it. But as I got older, looking back, I really regret not doing it. For so many reasons, I regret not doing it. So we got to the venue, watched the live broadcast. It was super, super cool. It was so cool being there. I had a really good seat. There was a bunch of stars there. I saw Taylor Swift live for free, which was really cool. Also Alicia Keys, Tim McGraw, and a bunch of other stars there who were, you know, talking and doing all the little fundraising stuff, and it was really, really cool to just be a part of. And after the broadcast, I met up with everyone from Archie's Angels, and we all went to a hotel where there was like a big after party, and it was mainly just like Stand Up to Cancer heads, like big founders and big people like that who were there, and I met some cool people there, and it was fun. It was, you know, a fun little, again, it wasn't my type of thing back then either, to like be at a big party with all these people and have to talk to people. So it wasn't my thing back then. But I did get this really cool little badge that I wore the whole night that got me in. I have it covered because my legal last name is on there. But it was really, really cool. But again, I so regret not doing the interview, because I could play that clip for you right now. I could share it with everyone right now, that this is a thing I did when I was 17, but I didn't do it. But here's the thing about regretting this. It makes me say yes to everything else. That's the thing. It's almost like you have to have that moment of regret, that thing that you regret not doing, to make you never say no again. And I always think back on it, like an opportunity will come my way and I'll be like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. And then I'll think back on that interview and I'm like, I can't regret something that much again. So I usually always say yes to things like that now because I don't want another regret on the list. So yeah, I just wanted to share that story. It's something like I said, I still think about it to this day. Like 10 years later, I still think about this. So what do you still think about? Anyone out there have a regret that they still think about to this day that changed them? I'm just curious. Share your stories. I'll feel less bad about my regret. If you got anything out of this video, make sure you hit subscribe and hit like if you liked. I make new videos every Tuesday, and I will see you all next time. And we're gonna do our interview first.